I love the Red Skull.
Oh my gosh, you ridiculously do. Hence your shirt.
He's on my Captain America shirt. So Red Skull is still out there in the MCU now. We know he's free to do whatever he wants. We don't know. The actor who portrayed him in Avengers Infinity War said he would love to come back, and he's even teased that maybe he has an extended contract, kind of like Hugo Weaving did, so if they ask him, he can come back if he wants. Ooh. So, with the future of the Red Skull, what would you do with that character? Because he's so removed. He's Steve Rogers' #1 villain. But if Steve is leaving, if there's no more Captain America movies, what do you do with Red Skull? Because I want to see him versus Steve.
I feel like the only thing they could do is he comes back and then he has to fight whoever takes up Steve's mantle, and then whoever's the one doing the mantle sits there and turns around and is just then like, we have to have Steve come back. Because I know, like, you hope Steve doesn't die.
Right. But I don't want more Captain America movies. That's the issue. As much as I love him, as much as that's my favorite...
It wouldn't be it wouldn't be him. It would be whoever's the new Captain America.
So let's say Bucky.
Yeah, perfect. It'd be Bucky. Especially Bucky because of the fact that he has such a hatred for everything that he did. So if it's Bucky, then Bucky tries to defeat him in his movie. And he say part 1 of his movie, like, he couldn't beat him. So he comes back and he's like, friend, like, one last battle and you can finally be laid to rest, and then do it that way. If you
make it maybe a revenge tale, like, let's say Cap leaves, Bucky takes over the mantle, he's the new Captain America, he's finally gotten over everything, being mind wiped, how he fell, the whole tests that Red Skull and Arnim Zola did on him. He's like, I'm good, I'm Captain America now, nothing can break me. Red Skull returns, he's like,
and then you just have the...
God, like PTSD kicks in, and he's like, I can't do this right now. So you break down the Red Skull, and you break down Bucky one-on-one. I think that would work, and that's the film I would want to see. Other than that, I can't imagine else, because Sam Wilson, the Falcon, he has nothing to do with Red Skull. He's never met the dude, so that would be a pointless crossover fight. Like, that's pointless, really.
It would literally just have to be exactly what you and I both just said. Like, say the first movie, like, he tries... and he thinks he succeeds, and then here's the post-credit scene of, like, him doing his heckle. And then he comes back, and he goes and does whatever Avengers movies, and then comes back and comes to find out, like, he was a villain again. And then here's him and Steve Rogers. They team up. Then they're done.
Or bring him back for Secret Wars, really, because we know they're eventually going to do that movie. He was prominent in the Spider-Man 90s cartoon for Secret Wars. I think that would kind of be cool. Kind of pay a little tribute to that Marvel thing. But Red Skull, I think it
has to be Cap and Cap only.
Yeah, like, it can't work anybody. Like, you can't be like, oh, Ant-Man's going to face the Red Skull. It's like, that's dumb. Like, what's the connection there? There's nothing. You know, it has to be personal with Red Skull. So...
Yeah. And it is very personal with America and Captain America, primarily.
With Red Skull and the history of World War II, so...
Yeah. So that's how it would have to be, especially because he's no longer the sole gem holder. And whatever happens with Endgame, it's not going to sit there and be like, oh, well, here, we have our stone back. You have to be the stone keeper again.
We're back, Red Skull. He's like, oh, God, I finally got that sushi restaurant I like. And he doesn't get to eat it. It's like a comedic scene, you know? Like, that's what they're going to... Because that's all Marvel does, so let's be real. It's comedy, right? Because that's all they do. Everything's slapstick. So, you're like, here's Red Skull about to eat his favorite sushi. And he's like, no! And the stone appears again, and he's back on Vormir. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. That's sarcasm, in case you can't understand in my voice.
No, they can't, sometimes.
Yep. So yeah, Red Skull talk.